What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Something to Talk About. And yeah, this is my second Halloween video. So happy Halloween, everybody. And yeah, go back and see what else I put out today. But right now, I have to say, how's it hanging, everybody? I'm David Pumpkins, and I'm here to scare the hell out of you. I'm kidding. My name is Taco, and I'm here to talk about Nimble Dick Crabb. The crowd goes wild. Probably one of my favorite characters. I've been wanting to cover him for a long time, but I've covered everybody from Brienne's chapters, right? Like I covered Shagwell on top ago and Maribald a little after that, and then I just covered Hyle Hunt. And I'm like, man, am I really gonna cover them all? But Nimble Dick Crabb has to be the most Halloween pick because he tells two really good stories. Two of them. Two really good stories. You got the Squishers and you got the Whispers. But first, if you don't know what's going on here and you wonder why some dude dressed as David Pumpkins is yelling at you, you can pause right now, read all this, and yeah, that's actually what's going on. So if you did pause, welcome back, and let's get right in to Nimble Dick Crabb. I'm so excited. Nimble Dick. Dick Crabb, better known as Nimble Dick, is a former soldier originally from Crackclaw Point. Dick is scrawny and malnourished. He has a sharp face, whatever that means, with dirty brown hair. Dick can be deceitful and untrustworthy. Am I right, ladies? All right. I won't make any more dumb jokes like that. All right. Nimble Dick wears a faded, torn doublet where some lord's badge has been ripped off. His armor is a dented half helm spotted with rust. Dick carries a old nickel dagger instead of a sword. Dick is a frequent patron of the Stinking Goose in Maidenpool. He sings songs with a scratchy voice. He is also he also speaks in third person, and that's just funny. Old Dick knows, he says things like that. Old Nimble Dick knows that you're fooling him. You done with that sandwich? Old Nimble Dick ain't done with this sandwich, no siree. He talks like that. Oh, I gotta love him. All right, the second slide in these is normally the house, but we don't know too much about House Crabb. And we don't even know their sigils. So you're getting a big old question mark for House Crabb. House Crabb is a noble house from the Crownlands, sworn to King's Landing. Its lands are found on Crackclaw Point. A former seat of the house is the Whispers, which is now lies in ruins. According to Dick Crabb, the Whispers has been a ruin for 1,000 years. It's a long time. It's a long time. All right. Moving on. Raised at Crackclaw Point. Dick was born and bred in Crackclaw Point. He knows the varied terrain well. He knows the terrain very well. Good job, me. As well as much of its folklore and history. According to him, he carries the blood of Sir Clarence Crabb, who I'll cover. Just wait. He has a sister who was bedded by a knight's son and then went off to King's Landing to take up a job as a sex worker. Nimble Dick deserted the service of an unnamed lord as seen by the torn badge on his doublet. Helping Brienne. Well, looking for Sansa and Dantos in the Crownlands, Brienne speaks with a pious dwarf in Duskendale. She's looking for a maid of 3 and 10 with eyeblind hair. The dwarf tells Brienne that a drunken man named Dick had bought ale for everyone at the Stinking Goose in Maidenpool while boasting of having fooled a fool. I fooled the fool. Nimble Dick fooled the fool. Brienne thinks the fool must be Dantos. Yeah, so the tales of Nimble Dick fooling a fool made it over to Brienne, and Brienne's like, I'm looking for a fool. And I'm also looking for a maid of 3 and 10. So maybe this guy knows where my fool is. Brienne travels to Maidenpool and waits for Dick in the Stinking Goose. That's a weird sentence. Offering to buy his wine after he arrives. In return for 2 silver stags, Dick admits that he has seen a fool with, quote, 2 girls, and that the fool has been seeking passage across the narrow sea. After Brienne gives him a golden dragon, Dick admits that he sent the fool and his 2 companions to a smuggler's cove in Crackclaw Point. But he did not tell them that the ships have not landed there in 30 years. So she thinks this fool must be Dantos, and the 2 girls must be Sansa and Arya. She's wrong on all 3 counts, but that's what she possibly thinks. And he's like, I sent him to the Whispers. Ha ha ha. And she's like, why is that funny? He's like, there's no ships at the Whispers. Ha ha ha. Nimble Dick Crabb. You just got fooled. You just got crabbed. I'm not going to say the other one thing. All right. Dick offers to take Brienne to the Whispers, and she promises him 6 golden dragons if they find her, quote, sister, or 2 if they find the fool. So, hey, you find me Dantos, I'll give you 2. You find me my sister, not Sansa Stark, I'll give you 6. Spooky tales from old Nimble Dick. Brienne and Podrick leave Maidenpool with Dick as their guide. During their travels, Brienne is suspicious of him as he once attempts to search her saddlebags for a coin, but is thwarted by Brienne, who has placed flour in them. So he gets just covered in flour. She's like going to take a pee, and she's like, Pod, watch him. And then you hear, get away from there for Pod. And she pulls up her breeches. She's like, ah. It runs over, and he's just covered in flour. She's like, I put that flour there because I knew you were going to go through those bags. Take that. That's pretty funny. It's some funny stuff. He sings parts of a song, of songs, just a bunch of random parts of songs, and it regales Pod and Brienne with legends and tales of Crackclaw Point, including that of Sir Clarence Crabb and of Squishers. Don't worry, we're going to get to both of them. When Brienne remarks outside of Dryerden that Dick speaks of Lord Eustace Brune as if he knows them, Dick offers that he might have ones. I might have. It is possible that the Brunes are the house that he once served. All right, so now I'm going to cover the spooky stuff because it's Halloween, right? So we're going to cover the 2 spooky tales that he tells. So I'm excited. Guys, this is Nimble Dick Crabb. If you're not pumped, what are you here for? This is why I make these videos, is to cover people like Nimble Dick. I'm honestly, now this is feigned, I'm really this pumped. I need a hobby. A different one. The Whispers. Dick speaks of how the people of Crackclaw Point have been, I'm just getting there now. Have been there for thousands of years, and due to the wars and infighting, the point rarely saw peace. According to legend, Sir Clarence was 8 feet tall and strong enough to uproot trees and throw them a half a mile. He was so heavy that only an aurochs could carry him. There are many tales about Clarence, but notable are that he fought. So these are just the notable ones. That he fought the Squisher King and tied a dragon's neck in a knot. It's just funny. It's just funny. The dragon's like, roar. He's like, Clarence Crabb. He talks like Nimble Dick. Old Clarence Crabb will tie your neck in a knot. Sir Clarence's seat. Where am I? Sir Clarence's seat was called the Whispers, so named due to the disembodied heads that he would collect and bring to his woods witch wife, who would raise them from the dead. So he would cut heads off of people and bring them to his witch his wife, who was a wood witch, and she would bring the heads back to life, and they'd be like, hi. And he's like, hey, what's up? You killed me. Why would I talk to you? I don't care, man. I'll kill you again. Talk to me. Whisper things. So the heads would give him counsel and talk among themselves. Hey, yeah, are you still ahead? Yeah. That stinks. I know, man. I'm hungry. Me too. I have an itch on my nose that I haven't taken care of for years. All right, I'll stop. Due to the fact that they were just heads, they had to whisper because they didn't have lungs to project. Sir Clarence collected the heads from a variety of people, including pirates, lords, wizards, knights, and even one king from Duskendale. So that's your first spooky Halloween story, and that is the Disembodied Heads. Hi. Welcome to the Whispers. If you look over there, that's the bathroom, that way is the kitchen, and that way is the Moorheads. I'll be your host all evening. I'm a head. I'll drop the disembodied head bit. But this is about as Halloween as it gets, right? Like, this is straight out of Reanimator. This is some Reanimator stuff. More Lovecraft stuff. He loves his Lovecraft. Speaking of Lovecraft, the Squishers. Here you go. But yeah, we're moving past the Whispers, but that's your first Halloween good news. So the Squishers, they look like men until you get close. That's what he says. Then it is too late. They have large, scaly heads. Their hands and feet are webbed. They are fish belly white. God, I love that description. And have sharp green teeth. According to Nimble Dick here, the first men thought they killed them all, but it is untrue. They come at night and steal bad little children. They eat the boys and keep the girls to breed with. Ugh. Dick claims that they would eat Pod raw. They'll eat you raw, boy. Nimble Dick. When Pod claims he would kill them, Dick says that they don't die easy. Their name comes from the noise of splashing, a sound made when they move on their little duck feet, their little web feet. Squish, 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 squishers. So yeah, there you guys go. That's our second. We are going to cover more of them, but again, I mean, I'm sure if you guys are big Song of Ice and Fire YouTube guys, you know, like David Lightbringer's covered their Squishers. I'm not going to cover them 1% as well as he does. He's got a million cool theories, and he does a great Nimble Dick impression. I'm just a humble David Pumpkins here, just talking. So go check out, if you've never heard of the Squishers, check out David Lightbringer covering them, man. He's amazing. So yeah, let's get to the final thing that isn't. It's still scary because it's a murderous clown, but it's not a haunted story. It's just what they run into at the Whispers. End of the road. Dick leads Brienne to a ruined castle called the Whispers. Before entering the castle, Brienne gives Dick her longsword so she unsees the Valyrian steel sword Oathkeeper. She tells this whole story about how there's like her Clarence Crabb is not Clarence Crabb, but like some crazy knight, and he had a magical sword, but he never used it. And he's like, well, he's an idiot. Use the magical sword. So then when she gets to the Whispers and she sees, like, she doesn't see anybody, but she fears that there's something going on, she gives him her sword and she uses the magical sword. Yeah. Symbolism. I forgot the name of her hero. This isn't a story about that. We're talking about Nimble Dick here. All right. So she pulls Oathkeeper, the magical sword. The fool that Dick had sold the map to turns out to be the nasty Shagwell. I've done a video on Shagwell. Ugh, Shagwell. He's one of the brave companions with two sellsword companions, Timian and Pig. Dick points out that Shagwell was the fool he sold the map to. Angry at having been previously misled by Dick, however, Shagwell kills the unexpected Dick by breaking his knee with his Morningstar. They call it Morningstar. I'm pretty sure they're flails. He calls Morningstars, or calls flails Morningstars. I'm not sure why. So Morningstar normally is just a shaft with the spike ball, and the ball on the chain he calls Morningstars. Whatever. A flail, whip, take out the knee. Ouch. Yeah. So with a knee and then smashing in his face. Super brutal. So that's the end of a good old Nimble Dick. The fight ensues, and Brienne kills Pig and Timian. After Shagwell yields, Brienne makes him dig a grave for Dick beneath the weirwood. Once the grave is finished, as she anticipated, Shagwell attempts to kill Brienne with a jagged chunk of rock, but it fails, and she slays him with a dagger, avenging Dick Crabb. Brienne then tosses 2 gold dragons in Dick's grave, telling Podrick that it was a reward promised to that he promised for finding the fool. Sir Hyle Hunt helps Brienne bury Dick. Yeah, so Hyle Hunt shows up and he's like, "Hey, what's going on? I've been following you guys. I should have showed up and helped a little sooner. Sorry." Yeah, I covered Hyle Hunt too. Go check it out. I've covered everybody but Brienne and Pod out of Brienne stories. But yeah, so if stories of disembodied heads and squishers isn't scary enough, a murder clown is also pretty dang scary. So Nimble Dick has the most Halloween of all stories. Last but not least, well, in the company of the Brotherhood Without Banners, Brienne has fevered nightmares and visions, including good old Nimble Dick. So yeah. Sad, sad, sad story, because I absolutely love Nimble Dick Crabb. If I might eventually do a tier list of every character I've covered, and you better believe me that Nimble Dick is S tier. Okay? He's fantastic. I love him. I love me some Dick. I had to say it eventually. Okay. Spooky stories. There's just way too much to cover here. Feel free to tell me your crazy Nimble Dick theory in the comments. My thoughts are vast. They really are. I love this man. He is easily one of my favorite characters and should have made it into the show. Clarence Crabb. Now I'm going to get into covering the 2 spooky stories and what they mean. But yeah, I just want you to know, I feel like one reason I never wanted to cover Nimble Dick is because there's just so much, and he's just so interesting. I can just talk about like what the squishers mean and what Clarence Crabb means and what use a magical sword and all that stuff. But that's just not what I want to do. I don't want to spend hours and hours doing that. So I love him. If you could tell me why you love Nimble Dick, and if you have any crazy theories, let me know. But there's a lot here to cover, more than I'm covering. Better YouTubers do it. Okay. Go check out David Ledbringer for sure. All right, let's talk about Clarence Crabb has Paul Bunyan vibes. Y'all know Paul Bunyan? I grew up in Minnesota near Brainerd, which has Paul Bunyan land. And then every small town has a Paul Bunyan statue. So he's the big old lumberjack with Babe the Blue Ox, right? And he's a big lumberjack, and he's super tall. He's like a giant. And Babe the Blue Ox is a giant blue ox that he hangs out with. You seeing any vibes? So Clarence Crabb has Paul Bunyan vibes. He is super tall. He unroots trees, right? Unroots trees. Paul Bunyan is a lumberjack. And he rode an R-Axe, which makes me think of Babe the Blue Ox, because he's a giant tree puller, kind of like a lumberjack, with a ox. Is this just me? Like, somebody's got to have made that connection. I can't be the first person to make the Paul Bunyan Clarence Crabb connection. I know somebody else has, but he's super Paul Bunyan to me. That's all I can think of. The Whispers is just a classic horror with ghostly talking heads. Yeah. Squishers are clearly Lovecraft deep ones, and there are a ton of theories to be said about how sistermen could have bred with squishers, and that's why they have the mark. Shadows of Innsmouth stuff for sure. So the Lovecraft book Shadows of Innsmouth has the Innsmouth look, which are people who are fishy because their ancestors bred with some fishy folk. So possibly the reason why sister men kind of have webbed hands and are a little fishy is because they bred with the deep ones or the squishers, right? So the Innsmouth people bred with fish folk like deep ones. I think there were deep ones in it. It's been a long time. And it's been a long time since I've read it. But yeah, so there's a weird connection of squishers and the mark of the sister men. I think we're supposed to think of that. Or, so, yeah, I actually have a weird theory. So, this is out there. So, squishers are not real. That's my theory. And it's just an ignorant point of view on sister men. Let me explain that. Maybe Nimble Dick is just an ignorant bigot. And he just thinks he's seen a sisterman before, and because they have webbed hands, he's like, they're squishers with their webbed feet, and they steal children. And it's just like awful, like ignorant stuff. Like, I don't know. It could just be that. It could just be him a bigot, and then sister men are like, no, we just have wet feet. And he's like, they're gonna steal your children. I don't actually, I just threw this out there because no one ever brings up, what if Nimble Dick is just awful? And he's trying to explain sistermen this way. Probably not. That's probably just me being a goofball. There probably are real, and it's probably actually some Lovecrafty and deep one stuff, and it's tied in with patch face and krakens and all that stuff. Probably. Why not? It's all that cool stuff. Thank you for watching my Halloween video. I can't overstate how excited I've been to talk about Nimble Dick, because he's a great character. And if you haven't read Feast for Crows in a long time, go check it out. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe if you haven't done any of that. And yeah, that's it. That was Halloween. That's the end of my Halloween season. I'm hoping I did well. I mean, I'm hoping I had a great Halloween. That's what I mean. This is the first time I'm wearing the costume because I'm filming this a little early. But yeah, check out my 13 scary places, spooky places that came out earlier today. And also, don't worry, you're not just getting 2 vids this week all on one day. You're getting still a video on Saturday, and it's going to be Christopher Botley. So not because Halloween's over. I'm not covering Halloween stuff anymore. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. Last but not least, all I have to say is, any questions? Peace.